You know, my, what beautiful eyes you have. You see, see, the world mind will always try to get you to separate from the covering, to be your own person, and then compliment you. The world mind will always compliment you when you start to separate. Wow, you look good on your own.
You look better.
You look better standing on your own. You like your own person now, finally. We're glad to see. That's the world mind. The God mind always compliments you for being in oneness and never separating from that economy. See, because one chase 1,000 and two chase how many? 10,000. So together, you're stronger. See, once you separate, your value go down.
Whoa.
And what has happened here? We had many prophets here that were great prophets, but they were spinoffs. They couldn't wait for the send-off. It was taking too long.
Gotta wait in place.
And none of them mounted up to anything. It just fizzled. Instead of waiting for the strength to come, because there was evidently some defect in character that wouldn't have been able to maintain the strength that would come about. That's why you got to make sure you wait for the send-off. See, when the send-off is done, you'll hear the Father's voice saying, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things. Now guess what? I want to make you ruler over much." Jesus began to hear. Notice Jesus didn't just start ministering until he heard that voice from heaven. "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." And then guess what? Hear ye him. He's ready. So the Spirit led him now out into the wilderness. Now, everywhere he goes with the Father assurance. The Father led me out here. The Spirit led me into this realm. And that's why you got to ask the question, are you sent or just went? Where's that connect? What made you think you could separate? See, that's a Luciferic principle. I shall be like the Most High. And that's why you got to watch in any organization that when people are there working on your behalf, are they representing? Because if they're not representing, then they're substituting. Therefore, if there's an agenda that goes on here, and we leave someone in our stead, you should be able to say, "Wow, it felt like Bishop was here." One of the greatest compliments was the late Classmaster Coleman, and I had heard this from Reverend Ike. So she was sitting in the service. This was after we had connected after a few years. She was sitting in the service, and she had told Reverend Ike that she had closed her eyes while I was teaching and preaching, and says, "Teach, Reverend Ike, teach." I thought that was such a compliment. That she was just hearing her mentor coming out of me. And that's why we want to encourage you to get with the send-off package. You don't want the spin-off package. Because see, the spin-off is going to have you with hoes. The Bible says that the prodigal son was in riotous living, partying, and wasted his money. Your value goes down when you are a spin-off. You want to stay hot? Stay connected. I'm telling you, it don't look smart, but I'm telling you, it's hot. It is hot. And that's what you got to admire about the Hilton sisters. As much as they are in entertainment, they did not separate from their parents' economy. They represent the enterprise. Make sure you're not a spin-off. Even in ministry, make sure it's a send-off. Write your comments. We're going to review your comments. And stay tuned. We know that you've been blessed today, and your life is about to be changed.